All right, so we just saw The Girl on the Train, and do we even need to review it? I mean, we already know it's going to be great. I mean, it's based on the thriller that evidently shocked me, even though, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah,
I mean,
shocked the
shocked the
world.
world. So
Yeah, when it was written, the
Or
whole
more
world just
like
shook.
yeah,
Or more
That
shook
earthquake we felt,
anyone who
that
actually read it.
the earthquake that happened, that was because of the book, The Girl on the
Yeah.
Train.
to be fair, it is the fastest selling adult novel of all time to this date. But
Yeah, I've
Really?
I've actually read the book so far. I just want to
I
ask.
haven't.
I actually,
Just to be-
I have. I'm the only one in this. I'm the only one in this car. I think who's read it. So I just wanted to ask. So did you guys see the twist at the end of this coming, or
I kind of.
I-
I had my suspicions early on, but it didn't really sink in until later. Then I knew,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
but I didn't know for sure.
I
until-
did. When I read the book, I kind of figured it out because of one of the trailers, but I'll talk about that later. So let's just talk about how he felt, and then we can talk about what happened later.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
so how did you feel about this movie? Did you like it? Hate it?
It kind of. We'll get to this later, but it kind of left me empty. It's, I mean, it's got merit. I mean, it's very well shot, and Emily Blunt Oscar nomination there.
Book.
Emily Blunt.
The book is
was
better though.
Megan.
Book is way better. Though.
Or, no,
and
she
I'm not
was,
saying this
Rachel?
like because
Or
it just
who?
a lot of the stuff in the book. Well, it's Rachel. Emily Blunt's Rachel. Megan
Ah.
is the girl who died, and then Anna is the wife of Rachel's ex-husband Tom. But yeah, the book is still a lot better, though. Though I did like some of the changes they did make, like some of the stuff, because the book, of course, is through each one of the characters. It focuses on heads, because the book it focuses on the perspective of Rachel, Megan, and Anna. All Megan's stuff is like in the previous stuff, like you saw in the movie, but all the and Rachel and Anna stuff is current.
Kind of hard to get the perspective of a dead person.
Well, no, because
And,
it's like I said, it
unless
goes to the when
I
she
know.
was still alive.
I know,
Because
I
she's
know,
a
I
zombie watching everybody. But yeah, it's just
And so in this movie, it's pretty much just Rachel.
well, they do focus on the other a couple times, but it's
Yeah.
and in the book, because in the book it does. There are some things in the book, like because since it takes place in each of their heads, showing what their perspective. There's a lot of them saying stuff, like the part in this movie where Emily Blunt's drunk. She's like, I was in his house and I bought all the furniture. That was all in her head in the book, but of course they couldn't do that. Well, except for a couple times they had narration parts, but instead they just had her drunk with some lady. Because that whole drunk scene where she's drunk with telling that lady about their life was not in the book. They just added that because they didn't want to have so much narration.
Exposition, rush it out ASAP.
Not really, because it's not really because exposition is like what's going on in the story or something like that. Like I was afraid when it started out, I was afraid they were gonna do that. It was just gonna be a narration the whole way through, and it was gonna be like the wildlife. Man,
Yeah.
then I just did this one thing and this happened. Like I thought that, but luckily they didn't do that, and I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
But I thought everyone did a good job.
Mhm.
Even like even Justin, the guy who played the ex-husband Tom. I was a little nervous with him, but he actually did a pretty good job. And Luke Evans, though, his character Scott wasn't that important in the book either. Though there was a scene at the end after all the really bad stuff happened, where in the movie where he's like watching them leave. In the book, that didn't happen. You never once Scott like beats the crap out of Rachel, you never see him again. Scott is just like never. He once he figures out Rachel's lying, and it's much worse than in the movie. He just kind of yells at her, then leaves her house. In the book, she's actually in his house. He actually hurts her a little bit and locks her in a room for a second, then lets her out, and then she just then she runs the heck out of there because he's being kind of a jerk.
Now the book takes place in London, right?
Yeah, that's why.
So
Yeah,
I did say
Yeah.
Winchester.
yeah, but the movie takes place in New York, though.
yeah.
The New York area.
So can you think of any reason why they would make that change?
Not
Ooh.
sure. Also, another thing
Is it
too
just
is
like cheaper to shoot there
yeah,
or something?
another big change they made too was I'm not sure why they did that. which because Emily Blunt is still British. Her character's still British. Like, what's the point? It's just like, why don't you just make it? You couldn't hire a bunch of British actors. I mean, Warner Brothers did that for Harry Potter. They didn't just make it take place in England, in America. They didn't just say, let's make Hogwarts take place in New York. They didn't do that. They actually went all the way, and they went to Britain and they hired British actors. They did that. Like, you can do that. I guess but then again, it was it's from Universal. Maybe Universal's like, nah. I don't know, but yeah, another big change too is Allison Janney's character, Detective Riley.
Can we at least save this for the Dom? Eventually, he's
Yeah.
probably gonna do this.
Yeah, I know. But Detective. Well, I'm not gonna. This is my last. She also wasn't that important. It was actually her partner, the male guy, who was more involved. Riley did show up near the end, and there was no scene where she accused Rachel of killing anybody. But there were most of the changes they made were fine. Like, I was okay with. Also, the killer in this was he's much different in the book. He was more sinister in this. He's just kind of stupid. But yeah, it was, and there's some other
Yeah, it
changes.
seemed a little more on the spur of things.
Yeah, but it's still, yeah, I still liked it. I just think that the book is definitely better, and there's also a lot, like, the whole, when you discover who the killer is was much different also in the book. They did it, the way they did it in this was very thrillerish. They're trying to do like ooh, look, the revealing of who he is and all this crap. Like, Lisa Kudrow's character is also another character who's completely changed. In the book, she was actually just a friend of Megan, but in this, she was like an old friend who worked with Tom, old friend of, like, she was like Tom's
Ooh.
ex-boss. Lisa Kudrow. She was the wife of she was the one who Rachel thought she threw doubled eggs at the wall at, or something like that. She was just Megan's friend in the book, older friend in the book. But it was like, I don't know. I don't know why they changed that too. But other than that, it was
Yeah.
you guys should probably go because you've read the book.
I did kind of think that some of the editing was kind of scattershot.
Yeah.
Like like for one instance, Rachel goes into Anna's house just because she just wants to hold her baby,
Well,
and so
she just went to see Tom at first, and then she decides to pick up. Even
Yeah,
in the movies, you
and
explain
so and so that we see that play out in full kind of late in the movie, but we see just one brief moment of it early, and it really felt out of place. It kind of just often when it does that, it just seems like it's just trying to be like artsy.
Yeah. Also, another thing they left out too was in the book, Scott and Rachel actually had sex in the book, but I don't know why they cut that out. But that was kind of weird.
Because
Yeah,
they already have like 4 or 5 of those in
Yeah,
this
especially
movie.
the only sex scene I thought was weird was the one where Megan's watching Rachel's watching Megan and Scott have sex in their living room with their windows
open and
I'm
the
just like-
train's going
Like,
by.
that did not
Yeah.
happen in the book. I'm just like, that's what young couples do. I don't think
Really?
that's what
I thought the word is one where
well, because most of them were fine because
in
it
the
was
woods.
it was trying to hide who the killer was, because when it was showing Megan having sex, they were trying to hide who the killer was, because in the book it would always just show her afterwards, because when you hear a guy's voice go, "We can't do this again," in the book, if you heard it in the movie, you'd go, "Oh, I know who that killer is because I recognize that guy's voice." So in the book in this they actually had to show the sex a bit, so that way they could hide the person who she was doing it with. So it's like, oh, okay. So I kind of understand. It's just the one sex scene where she was passing by. I'm just like, most married couples don't do that. That's mostly young couples who are early in their dating life who do that. I mean, some young married couples do that, but most of them go in their bedroom, you idiots.
I just remembered a joke, but I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to waste time.
So I guess before grading, let's get into little spoilers now. We can talk about who the killer is. Did you suspect it? Tom. It was Tom,
Yeah,
the
it was-
ex-husband.
So I had my suspicions when it was revealed that Rachel had discovered him cheating,
Mhm.
but it didn't. But it kept like the way throughout the film where Rachel remembers doing all these things,
Mhm.
but then it didn't really cement until wait, who was Scott again? What was his
Scott.
Luke Evans.
Yeah, Luke Evans.
Luke
yeah.
Evans' character reveals that neither he or the shrink were the father, and that's when it clicked for me.
I figured it. Well, when I was reading the book, I figured it out because. Well, actually, why don't you say your experience first, then I'll talk about mine.
Okay, well, I just
But my
that
God,
was
he
just like
dick.
that was just like a one possibility. I was thinking it was probably either him or Rachel, and so the reason that that I felt that this movie just kind of left me totally empty is the resolution of it all.
we'll talk.
Because
I'll
we
talk
find
about
out that he was because a lot of stuff goes on, and you wonder how much of it is in Rachel's head, how much of it is really her doing, and so there are all these loose ends, and they just kind of tidy it all up with she was right the whole time.
Well,
And-
I'll get to that in a bit, but how I actually figured out the twist when I was reading the book was the very first trailer for this movie there is a small clip. You can see it for a second, but I know is where they showed Justin Theroux, who plays Tom, and Megan having like sort of sex or whatever, kissing or something like that. They in the very first trailer they show that. That's when I was like, okay, because in the book, in the book and this, they were always hiding it. They were never showing. They were always being really secretive, and they weren't really showing them. So it's just like, since I remember in that first trailer that they were showing Tom, I'm like, and they never showed that. I'm like, oh, so I guess he must be the killer. I guess that was and that's when I kind of figured it out. And then when it came, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And in the book, he was way more evil. In the book, he was just kind of like when the minute like she's with Rachel and Rachel's with Anna, and Tom shows up and she accuses him, he just admits, yeah, I did all that crap, or I cheated on you. I don't care because you got boring or something like that. He was kind of evil in the book. So and that's why I wasn't afraid Justin Theroux was going to be able to do that. So, but they didn't do that. Instead, I'm like, oh, okay, they changed it a bit because maybe he couldn't. I don't know if he could do all the evil without being kind of goofy. I was afraid he was going to go, ooh, I'm evil, and do like do a little dance or something. Like some evil people will do, like they'll dance or do something evil, something stupid and evil. And also another thing with the ending of the book too is Anna did kill, but it seemed she was also kind of sinister too, because because the scene after he tells them that he was him or whatever, there's a scene where she almost in this movie she actually does call the police, and she actually does, but then Tom stops her. But in the book though, before she even gets a chance, Tom actually stops her because Rachel is actually supposed to keep him distracted, but she didn't. She just let Tom because I guess there's something supposed to be also sinister with her too, because after she kills Tom, she actually whispers something in his ear in the book. I think they sort of showed it in the movie, and then like she said something to Rachel when they leave before they give their speech or something like that, I guess, because the whole point is like they're connected by a story or something like that. I can't remember exactly what the meaning of the ending. That's why you feel
the way he
resolved.
dies,
Okay.
the way he dies, that is not slow. No, I mean that is not fast.
I felt that was too over the top too. Like
It happened in the book, but it didn't. It wasn't
really
like any detail.
like Anna just walks over and just
Yeah, she does that,
Really?
but it's not all. But it is she turns more the corkscrew, but it isn't very descriptive. It's just like she just turns the corkscrew and killed him. It wasn't like then you see the blood's gushing or something. There wasn't anything like that. It's just like she just turned the corkscrew in and then like whispered something in his ear before she did it or something like that. I guess because like I said, it's supposed to also hint something sinister about Anna, because they never showed her perspective after that. Like they showed it one more time when she was putting the baby upstairs in her crib, but that was about it. But there's supposed to be a whole point even to the movie, but I'm not sure. I have to look into it, I guess, what the point was, I guess. But it's, I don't know.
all right.
I was fine with.
You and Darth Vader would look at this guy and go, "Dude, you're a douche."
Well, like I said, in this he seems more kind of pathetic, but in the book he's actually kind of he's kind of evil jerk. And there's no scene where Anna's like, you're a sit, or Megan's like, you're a stupid limp dude or something. You're a limp loser. It's like there's nothing like that. He just kills her.
Mhm.
Because that the reason, and if you don't know, the reason why he kills her is because she's pregnant with a kid and he doesn't want to take care of another kid. Also in the book too, he didn't sleep around with a bunch of women, just Anna. It's just that he got bored or whatever with Rachel or something. But
I've never gotten that. Like, why can't they just cut ties and move on?
Yeah, because I mean, it's all she'll do is she'll just raise the baby with Tom. That's it. She doesn't have to do any. But he's like, nope, you have to kill the baby. I'm like, why? Leave her alone, dude. She wants to keep it. Let her keep it. Go away.
She even says you don't have to be involved.
Yeah, even in the book, I didn't get. I'm like, why didn't he just walk? I guess maybe he was afraid he'd have to pay something. Just like
I guess he was just a guy who wanted power. I guess.
Well, because in the book he was, like I said, he was kind of evil. So I guess he's just kind of a jerk.
I don't get why people feel the necessity to cheat. I don't get it.
Well, like I said, it's because they feel bored or something with it. One, they should just, or with their marriage, or they think this one girl's hot. It's like, I'd rather sleep with her or something. It's just, it might have, I don't know. I don't really care because I've never been in a relationship, so I don't know, and I've never thought about. So, and since I've never been in a relationship, I've never been in a place where I can think about cheating, so I have no clue. So I don't get it either.
Okay, so
let's just get, since we don't want to talk. I want to get to talk about the trailers. So
yeah. So
okay, let's grade this.
So final thoughts.
So outstanding acting, really well shot, but a lot of the movie is really marred by the weak payoffs. So I think I'm just gonna give it a C.
A lot of great scenes though, especially from Rachel.
Well,
Emily
yeah.
Blunt.
Emily Blunt does, like.
I thought everyone was good, even Justin, even his like evilness. No, I was kidding.
Yeah,
He's evil.
No, most of the time when she's doing like a monologue or something, she's really good. So I'd probably give this B.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. You felt the ending was kind of disappointing. I felt because, like I said, in the book, there's supposed to be something, and I think I could kind of get what they were going. They're kind of go for the same thing in the movie, but I'm not sure 100% what the point was yet. But I still thought this was a good adaptation, as good as adaptation as we could have got, I guess, maybe. But maybe we could have gotten better, I'm not sure. But I still really like the book, and I do encourage more people to read. Not saying you guys, I'm saying anyone watching.
I'm kind of interested in reading it, actually, from what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's a really interesting book, and it's not great. It's not the greatest book ever. Like, it's not gonna shock the world. It's not like, ooh, it's just a fun, good read thriller, and with some interesting themes, I guess. So. Yeah. And if the book definitely feels like the next Gone Girl, the movie not so much, because the directing isn't as good. I mean, if this had Fincher on it, I think it'd be even better. So I'm gonna give this one a B plus, probably, mainly just because I love the book and I thought this was at least a decent adaptation. I still thought it could be better, though. I guess with all the sex, it kind of makes sense because I told you I talking about who the writer of this was. Her name is like Erin Cassandra.
The writer of the movie.
Yeah,
right.
Erin Cassandra something. She wrote a lot of her movies that have a lot of sex in it. Like Secretary it has like a lot of that, and Fur had some in it too. And some nudity, because the movie, near the beginning of that movie, has like some where she's going to Nicole Kidman goes to like a nudist colony or something like that. But yeah, she writes a lot of stuff like that. So
okay, so this wasn't too disappointing though, because just as I predicted, we got a trailer for 50 Shades Darker.
Oh God.
It's an okay trailer. It's not badly edited. It's just kind of since I don't really care about the source material, so I'm just all meh.
I gotta give credit to Anastasia Steele that she is actually starting to realize what she's in. She says, "I just don't see how this can in any way work." Well, of course it can't. It's Twilight fan fiction.
Well, it used to be. It was turned. Now it's its own thing, but it was originally. Yeah. But yeah, it was.
Honestly, though, I'm just looking forward to hating its guts.
I'm not gonna see it though, because I don't see movies that I think look really bad.
I know everyone out there is gonna want to kill me because I guess people like me are the reason that it became a success. Just can't get enough of badness.
Yeah, it's just like, but yeah, it's just.
To be fair, this one does have some some things to appeal to the guys, I guess. It's got some planes, and I think there's a helicopter crash in there.
Well, there's also sex
Excuse me,
too.
not planes, I mean cars.
You know, there's a
but,
lot of guys who like sex, right?
yeah, of course.
It's guys
but
who are actually more into that sex stuff than women.
a lot of
mostly,
them didn't even care for that stuff in the first one.
but it's just, but that's you. But yeah, it's just, it looks okay. And there's a lot of weird like actors. I'm like, is that Kim Basinger? What the heck is she doing in this? And then there's this other guy from Smallville. I forgot his character's name from Smallville, but yeah.